Hey guys, it's Kelly with the Garden Whisperer. If you're unfamiliar with my channel, I design flower beds and garden beds for homeowners where they can either install it themselves or they can hire a landscaper to install it for them according to the design plans. So I had planted irises last fall, and I'll show you that really quick over here. So they're just starting to pop up for the season. As you can see, there's one there, and the deer got them during the fall, and that's why they all look chopped up, but they'll be all right. And here's another one here. If you could see that, yeah, there's another one there, and then I have a couple more spread out throughout there. And they're all starting to pop up, except for, this was so crazy, and I showed this in my other video. Even though I planted them correctly, this one still got some rot from the winter moisture. As you can see, it's like all rotted out here, and it's mushy. But the crazy thing is the side shoots are starting to come up. So they must have rooted themselves last year in the fall, and those are pretty much side shoots that you can eventually divide, and they'll be a whole new plant all by themselves. So I found that very fascinating that it was rotted out, but it still is producing green foliage on the side shoots. So we'll see what happens. So I bought the big one over there that's in the pot to replace this one, but then when I saw the green, I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. And I was wondering why this one in the pot was so expensive. It was like $75, because if you buy them just as like the bare root or the little rhizomes, like the smaller ones, they're only like $15, but this one was like $75. But you can see, perfect example of all the side shoots that come out of the main one. So those can all be divided, separate little plants. But right now, I'm not going to divide. I'm going to put it in the ground right now as is, see what happens. And then if I decide to divide, I'll do that, because honestly, I don't know where I'm going to put all those extra plants. So that was not the plan. When I bought this, I thought I was just getting like one single one like this. But no. So it is what it is, and I actually think it's going to, let me show you this really quick, it's going to balance out, because I have them all throughout. So I will have irises going all through the length of the flower bed. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to plant this, and, oh, actually, you know what? Let me bring it. I made a small fence for the iris with the last remaining amount of my roll of fencing that I bought, and it's a perfect size for this plant, because even though they don't touch the irises in the spring or the fall, or I'm sorry, spring and the summer, they definitely will eat it in the fall and the winter. So, well, it dies back for the most part in the winter. Well, at least not really. Well, the deer ate it, so that's why it looked like it was died back. But so I just have to protect them in the fall when the morons start to eat. So I'm going to put this fence around it once I'm done planting. Oops. And put you straight there. And that's probably exactly where I'm going to put it. And I think it'll be just fine right there. And I actually have 2 more lupins coming that I'm going to plant in the back of it. And they're going to get like 4 feet tall. And they're like a blue color. And this iris is another Concertina Reblooming Bearded Iris. And it's like a pink and a blue. Really pretty. Okay. So I'm going to start digging the hole. And I'm actually going to plant it now. If you buy it like just a rhizome like that, you actually, and if you can look at my other videos where I was planting it, you actually have to make like a mound in the middle of the hole of soil so that the rhizome sits on top of it and all the roots go to the sides, and then you cover it in soil. But you always want the rhizome, as you can see here, at the top part of it out of the soil, because they do, like I said, get rot if there's too much moisture. So, all right, and I'm going to plant this exactly. The soil level of the pot is going to line up with the soil level of the ground, so that I don't have to do the little middle mound, and I can just put it in. So I'm going to mark that a little bit so I know where I'm digging. Get over here. I want to kick the tripod over, because I've been known to do that before. Let me move that a little bit so you can see a little better. And this flower bed, because the soil is so bad up here in Northeast PA, I actually did this with two of this garden flower bed, which is still, it takes a few years for it to get like really good soil. As you can see, there's still some clumps of clay in here. So it takes a few years, but you have to just keep adding organic matter, mulch, compost, you know, chopped up leaves, grass clippings. That's all really good for your garden bed and your soil. And over a couple of years, you'll end up with nice, rich, black soil. It'll look really good, and it'll be really healthy for your plants. Now, you always want to dig your hole at least like 2.5 times. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring my tape measure. 2.5 times the size of the pot, so that it has enough room to, yeah, so this soil's getting better. It's just still got some clay in it, but it'll get better. But it was the BITCH, because I had to dig up both flower beds, and they were filled with hard clay and rock. And it took me like 2 summers. And I came out every single day, or as much as I could, to get it done. And I think I'm going to probably have to dig this more. So we're going to, you know, I didn't even think I should have moved the mulch out of the way. Didn't think of that. But all good. It'll be fine. Plants are tough. They'll come back sometimes in the worst of conditions. And the only thing, the exception is like trees and shrubs. They don't do as well as perennials or annuals will do if they're not, you know, cared for. But all good. All right, let's just make sure. I'm just going to put this. I don't want to dig it too deep. Because like I said, I don't want the soil of the pot to be lower than the soil in the ground. All right, let's see. This, I'm sure, is probably going to be fine. Could be a little higher. So I'm going to put some soil back in. That is about right. And I'm fine with it being a little above, because I think that'll be fine. That's a pretty good hole. Wow. All right. So I'm going to put my tried and true black cow. I always put some in when I'm planting. It just helps with organic matter and worms. I don't want to put too much in. And then I'm going to put, I bought this from Shriners online, shriners.com, I think it is, Iris Gardens. It is Iris plant food. So it has fortified with bone meal and low in nitrogen, which you want. So I'm going to, and it says just a tablespoon per plant. So, of course, I don't measure. I just estimate. So I just put like a little handful of it. Like that, maybe. That's about a tablespoon. I'm just going to put it in there. And I'm going to mix it around. Then the bad boy's going to go in. So if you live out in Northeast PA, I highly recommend amending your soil and just keep adding. Oh, this is really, keep adding. Just trying to loosen it up in the pot. Keep adding organic matter. Well, we got some roots coming out the bottom, so we're a little root bound. Not uncommon for potted plants. There we go. So just want to loosen the sides. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, look at that. So you kind of just want to like loosen them up, because you don't want them to go, you don't want roots to go in, stay going circular, because that's what happens when they're in the pot. So you want to try to I say gently, but I'm not always gentle. I just kind of rip them sometimes. But you want to make sure that the roots grow outward instead of in a circular pattern. So this is actually loosened up pretty good. So you just want to get it from not being root bound, but don't want to like hurt it too much, because then they'll get transplant stress. But really depends on the plant. And now you want to face the fans to where you want, you know, like to look at it, or where you want the plant to face. So I'm just gonna pull these out a little bit so they kind of go outward and whole. So you don't have to be perfect. Is that pretty level? That's pretty level. That was pretty good. All right, so I am just going to fill it back in now. And I'll be honest with you, see, my soil's getting to be really good. It's starting to get crumbly and black, and that's what you want. Full of organic matter. And worms are your best friend for your garden. They do wonders. They aerate the soil, help with drainage, and provide their nutrients from the compost that they break down in the form of their poop. So, you know how they say worm castings or castings. So, this is good because I like that. That's a good thing. That looks good. Just going to add a little more. Try to get as much of this filled back in. You don't want to cover the rhythm, and then you just want to tamp down a little bit just to get out extra air pockets. And I always have, when I'm digging the hole, extra soil, so it's all good, because even if I don't fill it, the hole, I can just push it in my flower bed and other areas. And I'll tell you, you don't really need to clean up leaves. That's more organic matter. So like if you're cleaning up your flower beds, you don't really have to. You can put mulch right over the leaves. And once the leaves break down, that's going to add more nutrients to your soil. So leaves and debris are your best friend. You know, some people are like, oh, I got to clean up all the leaves. No, not really. It really does provide nutrients. Is that a rock? Yeah, we got another rock there. Throw that out of the way. And that is it. That was a quick transplant, or a quick planting. Now all I'm going to do is water it in a little bit. Get stuff away from the, you don't want that on the root. You're so pretty, little guy. I love my plants. I talk to them all the time. People call me I'm a plant nerd, plant addict. I'll take it. That's a compliment. That's just a loose one. All right, so that's it for that one. I'm going to get some water now really quick. You can come with me for that ride. Just grab my bucket. I should have grabbed it before, but I don't always remember to grab everything. As you can see, this driveway's a mess. This has to be replaced too, along with all the other renovations I'm doing with this foreclosure. But all good. All right, so I got my bucket. And I don't want to overwater it, but I want to make it so it's got enough, because the soil in the pot was pretty dry. And I have to buy a new hose for this spigot, because my other one, I have another one on the other side of the house, and the hose that I had hooked up to here last year broke. So I was like, that's fun. Okay, that should be plenty. Yeah, like I said, so many renovations I still have to do. But that's all right. The fireplaces are getting done in the next 2 months. So I'm excited about that. And then I won't have such a high oil heating bill in the winter. It's crazy how expensive oil has gotten. All right, so I'm just going to water slowly. I don't want to touch the rhizomes with the moisture. So that's good. I've got good drainage. my God, there's squirrels fighting in the woods. I should do a video of this little squirrel that comes up on my porch for nuts every morning. I named him Rocky, and he actually takes nuts from my hand. He's so cute. He is. He's like stinking cute. And the way he walks, he's hilarious. He walks like a little fat person, or like a like he waddles when he walks. Oh my God, it's so funny. Was that insulting? I apologize. I'm not trying to put, but like pregnant women waddle. Okay, I should just shut my mouth, right? Okay. But anyway, but he waddles, and it's so cute because he's real like fat in his like belly area, and he just cracks me up. He's the cutest thing I've ever seen. All right, now I'm not going to use the whole bucket because I don't want to overdo it. So now I'm going to take my metal screen, and it was perfect. The last bit of this was the exact perfect width for this. And then I'm going to take my bamboo sticks to hold it in. The morons cannot rip this apart. I don't trust deer until we have stuff growing in the woods. I don't trust the moron deer. Oh, I didn't realize this was not really shining great on this. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't trust the deer. They will get at this. So it's better to cover this right now. And then once stuff starts growing in the woods, then I can take this off and they'll leave it alone for the spring and summer. But then in the fall, I will have to cover it back up along with the other ones. All right. So that is it, guys. That was delivered like 2 days ago. And I've been putting it out on my deck during the day and bringing it in at night because the temps were going like to freezing. But now they're supposed to be in the 40s or so at night, so it'll be fine. So that's it, guys. That is the planting of the lovely little potted Concertina Reblooming Bearded Iris that I bought. And I will do more videos on other stuff, but everything is starting to grow, and I'm so excited, except you could see the moron deer. I had a frost cover on this over the winter, and they completely demolished this tree. So I have a pine tree coming. It's a blue color. It's real pretty, so that's going to get dumped, and the pine tree is going to go in there. It's unfortunate, and I don't think the other Lawson cypress over there is doing too well either. So that may have to go as well. I don't know if it's just the Lawson cypresses. Well, the deer got to that one, but that one just doesn't look like it did well. So I think going forward, because we're out in Northeast PA and it gets so cold here so soon, I think I'm not going to buy conifers or trees in the fall anymore. I'm going to buy them in the spring so that they have more time to establish their roots before the cold weather sets in. Oh, and I wanted to show you really quick. This is how moronic the stupid deer are out here. This is a little solar light, and it has this stuff falling, and it flickers at night so it looks like it's running water. It's so cute. And look, 2 of them. The stupid deer bit them off, because I can guarantee they probably thought it was food, because they're idiots. But that just goes to show you how sick and psycho they are out here. It's like abnormal behavior. Seriously. All right. So going back to this. So that's it, guys. If you're interested in hiring my design services, you can reach me at www.the-garden-whisperer.com. And please like and subscribe. It'll really help my channel. And that's it, guys. So until next video, happy gardening. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.